and we have to take care of the aspect. Mind is everything. So let's mind our mind, and if that happens, I think many things will be under our control. Just to let you know, American Psychological Association, great institution of psychology, we consider. They are the bench. We keep benchmarking with them. They have declared May month as a mental health awareness month. So as a Giftt and Sci-Fi and GEAN, we are doing this work purposely, that our job as a psychologist is to create awareness and understanding among people, not only in the field of psychology, but non-psychology people as well, and masses, so that they understand the importance of what emotion creates, something which they sometimes don't understand, and they get confused that is it an emotional intelligence, but it's more than that. We need to understand our core values, which is drive, and which is driven, if you ask me, by emotional agility. I hope I'm clear on this. Let's move next step. Yeah, this polling, everybody can do it, so that you get more clarity on the topic which we are talking today, on emotional agility. Think about the last time something triggered your stress, criticism, or pressure. Did you respond or react? So select one. You want to select two, that's up to you.
The poll is there in the tool option. So everyone, you can go to the tool option. There's a poll live. You can actually select your answer and vote.
I think we must have got the result, Akansha.
Yes, ma'am. I'm just sharing.
So highest one we are seeing, can you tell me?
Yes, ma'am. I handle it well. 6 votes for that. 3 votes for I overthink it. 3 votes for I react instantly. And 2 votes for I suppress it.
So highest is what?
I handled it well. I handle it well.
So maybe because we have psychology background participants more so, if you ask me, what I have seen the registration numbers and the background. So maybe that's the reason. That's good sign. But if you are able to handle well in all the situation, there's a story of one corporate experienced person, because I meet people from different segments and different areas. He said, ma'am, I have experience, I have knowledge, but in some situation, I don't know how to respond. I react and things become worse for me. I'm a leader of the organization. So what I'm trying to convey, if you are doing well, you handled it well, fine. But you have to uh, just observe in your daily routine which are the areas where you are becoming reactive, or you're suppressed, or you overthink. There you need to identify your patterns, and this will help you to go towards more responsive behavior, and that's how we should get connected with our emotional agility, because you are flowing in the situation and you are not getting stuck. And that's how we need to make a differentiation in our mind, that how agile I am. You are handle it well. You are actually using your emotional agility. But ask yourself, question yourself, do you use it in all the situations? Or in some situations, you just don't want to have that difficult conversation also within family or in the professional setting? Even difficult conversation people have, this is one very important factor which you keep on reading in your researches also. People just want to avoid it. So that's also where we are not using our emotion as a superpower. We are getting swayed, or we are getting stuck or fixed and not able to move beyond that situation and beyond that kind of vulnerability a person is from within. So what that's very important point for all of you to look at for yourself. And as a psychologist, if you are, or you're practicing, or you're a student or researcher, please train people how they can utilize these emotions as a powerhouse. I always say emotional intelligence, with my research and experience and practice, that intelligent use of emotion is emotional intelligence. If you don't use emotion intelligently, that's not emotional intelligence. And when you use it in every situation, that means you are becoming flexible and you are using emotional agility as a core value in the context of emotional intelligence. So let's try to understand these two concepts, how they are related, what is the difference between, and how they are always in practice, daily life. We use it, we don't know, we're not aware. So let's understand in more scientific and effective way, so that next time when we use that kind of technique or use that kind of skill, we know that where we are and how we can be more confident and use it more for our happiness, well-being, not ourselves, but also the surrounding where we are. So what we talk about emotion agility is its ability to, this concept was given by Susan David, a Harvard professor, and she has written book also, and she has a LinkedIn page also. I'm not here to promote her. Being a psychology person, what is latest coming in the field of psychological science or science of emotion, I always try to give to the people in the Indian context wherever I go and train and conduct my sessions. So what I'm trying to convey to everybody, we should not get stuck. There's only emotion intelligence, but there is a beyond something which we don't know, which we are not aware. So that is emotional agility. And agility word has been taken from sports science. Agility means that you're agile, you're flexible. When in sports and games, you see when ball comes to you, you have to kick it. You don't have to ignore it and leave it. You will not win. So when you have to win, you have to take that ball and deal with it very effectively so that you're a winner. So that is how it is explained, that in today's context, we have to be more agile. We don't have, if you are using emotional intelligence and get stuck, that means your emotional intelligence is not working for you. So you need to use your core values to become more agile. So it is ability to recognize, understand, and respond to emotion effectively in then and there. You don't have to wait. And if you see emotional intelligence, I don't have to talk about, whole world knows about it. This has become buzzword everywhere. And now I think we need to move further and see how our emotional intelligence can be powered by emotional agility, because it's your personal values. If you are able to do it, and if you are flexible, you are creating your this mindset which is more growth oriented, not this is a fixed mindset, which we say negative orientation. When you have a growth orientation mindset, you are more agile. When you have fixed mindset, you just only talk about emotional intelligence, but you're not utilizing it in the fullest manner. And five dimensions we all know: self-awareness, self-management, motivation, empathy, social skills. But how to use it? Who is powering it? What emotion? How our situation and people and our relationship, they are powering us, but we don't know how to use it. So this is where I always try to convey to people and the participants here that this is going to be the next superpower for you all if you understand the context, how emotion agility works for us. So it is something that emotion doesn't work against you, it works for you to give you more understanding and more control of the situation, rather get controlled by it. Next, please. So what happens when such situation is there? There is a trigger, some trigger, maybe it's from thought, situation, people, relationship, whatever. I think I will give you a workbook also, which I think Akanksha will share after the workshop, after this interactive session, that how to understand and track yourself for a week and come back to us and ask question that is it working or not. So that trigger you have to identify. What is that trigger which always makes me vulnerable and my emotion gets so suppressed, or I don't want to talk about, and my response get very negative, and outcome is certainly negative because you are not achieving the desired goal which you wanted for yourself, whether it is in work situation or relationship or in a family matters. So this we need to see how we need to understand. And if you have that understanding, there is a sequence. Psychology is a science. There's a logical way to look at things. Behavior just do not just come like that. There is some reasoning behind it. We need to understand that how it works and why it works and how we are responding. The way we respond, it is our emotional agility. So whether we are reacting, whether we are responding, if you are responding, you are towards emotional agility side, and you are using your emotional intelligence in more effective manner compared to those who are in the negative situation and they are not able to manage that situation and the emotion in their for their own benefit and advantage for self and others, maybe in personal situation, for family, and professional situation, for work and organization. To increase the productivity also, it's very important. Yeah, can we go to the next? So what emotion you struggle to manage? So you can write one emotion which you feel that till date you are not able to manage it better. It is within relationship, or with boss subordinate, or with your friends or spouses or partners or parents. I think I just spoke parent, somebody wrote parent. I did not want you to write that. But yes, jokes apart, there is a reason. Most if you are a teenager and in that particular age, you will like, even though grown-ups, parents. So if you struggle that, what is that one emotion with the parent? Now we have to be very specific. We can't generalize the problem. As in medical science, we have to be specific to get medication. Similarly, in psychology field, we have to be specific with our thought and emotion to get treatment and to get therapy. That's where we do not understand. What is that psyche? What is that emotion which we're talking about? Can we get that? Yeah. And anybody who wants to, you need to write that emotion, their way of replying. So it is mostly the emotion is you get hurt. It is not you only. There are many people who can relate with this situation and relate with that kind of conversation with their parents, that it hurts you, and you do not accept the kind of response, the way they respond to you. You feel bad about it and you feel sad about it. And this, let me tell you honestly, being a parent as well, that The communication pattern is faulty here. You have to, that ball is coming to you, how would you deal with that ball? And if you are showing your non-verbal, somebody says, ma'am, no, I was not rude, you were also rude. You just check yourself in this situation. When my parent talks to me, how is my behavior? Am I accepting or rejecting? My behavior is accepting it or rejecting it. Outrightly, the moment they have said, I reject it. So let's see that, how we understand their psychology first, what they want to say, the intent. Let me tell you, my dear participants, parents' intent is always good for the children. And that you have to agree with me, In our culture, there is a Sanskrit shloka, which I keep on telling people. Matra Pita Devo Bhav, Guru Devo Bhav. So they are like godly behavior they have. But sometimes because of the life's pressure, we forget that. But their intent is very, very positive and pure for their content and communication is not aligned with their intent. That is where we all have to work as a student of psychology, or as a person who do not have a psychology background as well. With that experience, you need to work that, yes, I need to understand mom and dad, why you say like this, it hurts me. आपके वजह से मुझे दुख होता है, नहीं, आपके वजह से नहीं, मुझे दुख होता है. The reframing of your sentences and conversation, that's where we need to learn. And that's where, as an organization, we are coming with the GEAN, that Global Emotional Agility Network, where we'll teach and train people that in day-to-day life, what is the conversation pattern? If you ask me as a psychologist, being with great universities and students like you who have made me at this stature, so I would let you know that every time I found the conversation communication is a big problem in a mental health issue. And in workplace mental health, it has been found the boss subordinate conversation, in family, parent and child conversation, teacher and student, school and university setup, teacher and student converse. These are the pain areas. When difficult conversation, they don't know how to take it up. So this we need to work as a psychology field community and fraternity, that how do we make this conversation flowing, easy, and make our point clear without hurting each other. This is an art. I think, Akanksha, we need to see that how we can create a workshop and design this work, because every time this kind of problem people come out, So this is an art of
Definitely, ma'am.
communication that helps us, and it reduces our anxiety and stress. That is why we avoid the conversation, and that's why we feel bad about it, that they have hurt me. But we have not understood what they want, which frame of mind they're coming from. They have their own hassles, but the way they are talking, it's not because they want to hurt you, because this is their pattern they have learned in their life. So we cannot, I think, unlearn and relearn for them. You can do for yourself, but at least communicate to them कि इस तरह से बात करने मुझे बहुत दुख होता है. अपनी 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 बातें बताइए. What you feel, tell about yourself. I feel that way, I have an example to let you know more clearly, and so that it simplify things for everybody. Yeah.
There's one more question, ma'am, related to the similar thing, that how can we handle growing teenage children as a parent?
Yeah, this is a very good question and relevant. I always get this kind of question in the workshop as well when we do for parents. When they are teenagers, when they're in the growing age, formative age, the secretion of hormones in the brain is too high, Even they don't know what is happening to them. That adrenal rush, and every time, how do you manage that as a parent? We have to manage their brain, not them. We don't know how to do that because we have not studied psychological science. So I suggest, and I think convey to all of you, you need to have an understanding and learning about the science of life. This is not a psychological science for degree. This is to live life happily as well. It's a life science, if you ask me. You have to understand what is happening in his brain. He still doesn't know. See, brain is hardware and mind is software. So how this mind is becoming at that moment of teenager, and if we are able to gauge that, perceive that rightly, they are with you. If you just thrash them, they are always against you. Why? There are many teenagers and parents I have seen, they are always with their parents, and they understand each other very well, because what is happening in their brain is important. Let me tell you about research of neuroscience, which we also need to understand and update it as a psychology field, students and researcher, that your brain requires two important things. As per neuro, brain is a single organ which controls the whole body. That's why we have to work on anxiety. As per WHO report, we all know 51, more than 51% people are having anxiety. So it's again, brain is not, I think, in our control. The mind is regulating us in a very negative direction, and that's why we are having anxiety. And when it comes to teenager, it's too high. So what happens when this second point? First was single organ which controls the whole body. Second point, that when you are trying to control your children at that time, as per neuroscience, that brain requires safety, security, comfort, but that we don't give to the children. If the child feels safe in the environment, he will not hide. If he feels secured in the environment and with the relationship with the parents, he will confide with them. But that is the main problem, my dear participant, because that is where the children try to confide in their friends, because they comfort them. They give them that safety, security. I will not tell to anybody. That one line gets hooked with them, because that feels very comforting to them at that moment. That's where, as a parent, can we do that? We can also do that. If, as a parent, if I'm not letting my child be in a safe zone in the house, where they will go? Let me tell you. That's the biggest problem which we face in with teenager. Uh, this behavior, what we talk about, uh, behavior which is not acceptable, and every time they are creating kind of havoc in the house. But we need to understand why of the behavior is very important, and why comes from that mind. And that's when it comes from the mind, then how we need to take care of the brain health. That's more important. Their food habit is equally important at this moment. What kind of food the child is having. And then a lot of researchers have also conveyed that the intake, what kind of food person is eating, that also is a cause of mental health issue, not only medical issues. So we need to take care of brain health, food as well. Yeah.
Ma'am, there's a question from Aryan Singh. Uh,
Uh-huh.
he is asking how to make balance between students as a strict teacher, but they should not threaten as much as they can hide their problems also. Because if we are becoming more strict, then they will be a discipline. They will be in discipline, but then
So
they will. Hmm.
please go ahead.
But they will hide their study related problems, and if we are very friendly to them, they will understand, but they will lack discipline. So how to handle the situation?
See, that is right. Again, here you need to check yourself whether I'm a teacher who always reacts in a given situation with students, or I'm responsive. I I understand the way I talk to them because they're adults. So that is also, I need to be firm but not rude. So that's one very important. As a mentor, as a teacher, I have lived my life. I am firm about my whatever I think assignments, researches, whatever you give to your students, give them. This is A, B, C, D, E. Give them consequences. Don't threaten them. This will happen. And after this deadline, that 5 marks will be deducted. But that's what we need to teach students, discipline. If we don't teach, that discipline has to come from us, from our personality, from our behavior, from our communication, from our orientation. We need to be firm. We don't have to be rude, and we don't have to shout. The many teachers, they do like that. That's I'm against this. It's unethical, if you ask. Unethical behavior. It's a human right violation when we do that, shouting, and we disrespect people. We have to respect, whether age or no age. What the children are, I think they are younger than you, doesn't mean that we need not respect them. They are human beings. We need to respect them, and then convey whatever you want to convey as a teacher, with firmness and consequences. No threatening. Even for parents, this works. If we always keep on threatening, that somebody will come. अब parents को मैं example देती हूँ, हमारे पास जितने भी आए हैं ना parent issue, तो Papa ko bata rahe, Papa becomes and dad becomes demon. I don't know why. That he will not come to know. And in university also, sometimes when we had discipline issue, we used to tell that, okay, only mom is coming, why dad is not coming? So this is where the problem lies. The mindset, what kind of mindset we are creating in the environment when we convey through our communication. So as a teacher, as a parent, how we are communicating and engaging with our children and students, it makes a lot of difference in our approach, and students then understand, and then they do not take advantage. I have done this for 30 years, my dear participant, the teacher who has asked me, and it has worked with me. I always follow Mahatma Gandhi. If one principle works for one person, it can work for many. It can work for village and country. So that's how I think I can tell you: be firm, be with consequences, and it works. And then students have that respect they want to convey to you, and it's not required to shout at all. If you just, I used to stand in the class, that makes difference. Just see them. That's the only thing which I used to do it, and the work used to get done from the students, and with love and affection. They used to do it, and they used to stay beyond timing. If I could see the time is up, but still they are sitting, I said, please go, don't waste, don't try to be in the class, because I'll keep on talking and guiding you and telling you. So we have to understand where we come from, what is our background, what kind of teacher we are, whether we are teacher with purpose, or we are just that also, I think I don't have to say here, but we have to question ourselves and give that answer to self, whether I'm teacher by chance or teacher by choice. If I become teacher by chance, can I become teacher of choice now if I am still in the teaching fraternity? Otherwise, what I am doing, I don't have to tell you, we all know it. Yeah, next. So I think this is the last slide. We are, I think, Akanksha.
Ma'am, we get left with techniques.
Yeah. So, as all of you, can you tell me which trap you fall in? Or you have more to add to this three types of scientific way to look at when we talk of emotional trap? It is this three only, or you get it more? Which one you get into the trap? Whether avoidance, overthinking. You gave example of, mostly example I'm getting is avoidance, and one was example of reactivity. So, what can you just give your one answer in the chat, all of you, so that we get to know where our audience are in this particular uh, strategy to use in their daily lives. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So whatever answer has come, please let me know, Akansha, so that I can tell you.
yes, ma'am. Uh, uh, Actually, poll is also live. So if you're not writing, you can actually poll there so that we can share the response. Or you can use the chat box to write the same
Because this
thing.
will help you only. In the
Exactly.
end of this session, you'll gain something and you'll go with that.
Definitely.
We believe in GEAN network to give outcome to people for their happy living. Because when we talk of emotion agility, it is not lack of intelligence, not lack of capability. It is a lack of how we respond to a situation, how we navigate situation, effectively. And that's where the emotion agility comes in. Can we see that?
Majority of them poll, written overthinking. There's one answer that we got that all of the above, three of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what is different, which we have got?
Majority of them voted for overthinking, ma'am.
The mental health issue.
Hmm.
So overthinking, why it happens, I think we don't have that much time to tell you, but in one line I can tell you, uh, thinking needs thinking. I hope everybody does that thinking. But overthinking is you are overloaded by what we say in psychology science, cognitive overloading. And when you overload your cognitive, that is thought, and that's how the thought attacks. And there's not only in medical science we talk about heart attacks, in our psychological science we talk about thought attacks, So this all relate to our problems and we are not able to talk about, but we overthink on that unnecessarily and get into the vicious circle. So what is the right way? You have to make a paradigm shift in your thought process, that how can I come out from this overthinking that requires thinking, not overthinking. The thinking requires thinking to come out from the trap and do and take action. Overthinking will not let you take action. That's how we need to understand. If you are not taking action, that shows you are not thinking, you are doing overthinking. That's one line I can tell you how to understand and come out from the trap. But there are scientific tools also, which we will tell you. Any other question? Otherwise, we can move to the next slide.
Hmm. Ma'am, there's one question. Can overthinking lead us to take a logical decision or action?
Sorry, come again.
The question is, can overthinking lead us to take a logical decision and action? Question mark.
That's where I'm telling you, you are overthinking cannot lead to a logical uh, decisions and actions, because you are not perceiving the situation and the environment or whatever problem you're going through in the right manner, in a exact way as it is. You are seeing the way you want to see it. So we need to get out from our own understanding. We have to cross check that is it the same thing which the way I'm understanding situation, the way I'm overthinking it and taking action on it. So we need to be witness of that situation. And then, as we all know, in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has given beautiful example and answer on this. And as I use a lot of spiritual science to help people to understand problem in a very simple manner, that when you have your friends have a problem of any such kind which we are talking about, you are very good to give advices, isn't it? We all are good. It doesn't need to be a psychologist and professionals. We all give advices. Similarly, when you have a problem, this is a water bottle, this is my problem. For example, I'm just demonstrating. Keep this bottle in front of you, keep your problem in front of you, and just think that this is a problem now. How would you advise? What will be your advice? In Bhagavad Gita, it is said by Lord Krishna, you become witness to the problem, Sakshi Bhav, and see what is right and wrong in this. What I am saying, this is something which is correct with something which is incorrect. What if I am perceiving things in a right way? I am taking the right decision. If I'm not perceiving, because now problem is not, I'm not attached with the problem because I have detached the problem, it is in front of me. So it is detached. When things get detached, I can see clearly. I can think clearly. I can feel clearly. I can act appropriately. That is how we need to understand. So if you can think clearly, and because the problem is out, not with you, attachment leads to stress. We understand that attachment gives a lot of understanding. No, it gives you a lot of stress, anxiety, and you are unable to take decision. That's what Bhagavad Gita teaches us, that if you see with clearly, if you are detached with the problem, you can see things very clearly, black and white, and then you can take the right decision. That means your mind is working, your thought is thinking, your thinking is thinking, and you are taking right action, my dear participants. And that's how, if we are able to do that, then we are part of human kingdom, as per Bhagavad Gita, if we don't do that thinking, we become part of animal kingdom and we perish. Where we are, choice is ours. So we can, this is one way to look at and understand with clarity and take action. I hope I'm clear on this. So this is a mind reflection. Just go back, just and I want to think of recent situation where this happened. So now any emotional trap which you were in, you can think situation and try to come out the way I have told you. This technique really works and it is very effective, you know, if you ask me. With a lot of my own family members, my clients, my students, faculty, they all have used it and it's very effective. So we are very good advisors. So put your problem in front of you and you are able to solve it. And you can write also if you want. Journaling is one best way to get out of your problem and see things clearly. Yeah. So recent situation, just ponder and just come out from the trap. It is easier. Whatever skills which we have and techniques which we have discussed at present in the question which was asked. So next slide is a technique and tool which we are giving you in this session, which we have already discussed. So we have to verbalize it. Emotion needs vocabulary, my dear participants. You need to know what I am feeling. If I am conducting webinar right now, I am feeling very happy and excited and enthusiastic about it. Akansha and me, we know that how we have worked on this, and we try to make it very simple and pictorial so that in online we don't lose the interest and attention of participants. That I'm excited that I want to give this world. Psychological science is very, very important and relevant to today's digital world and in the era of digital world and artificial intelligence and a lot of innovation which is coming in our way. Only human intelligence, HI, can save us. You know, that's emotion. HI say it's a human intelligence. So when we talk about this tool, this we have to name it. I told you I'm happy about it. Then I pause that how I'm teaching my audience and my participants. I take a deep breath and give you some answers to the questions which you're asking. Then reframe it. What is the best response here? So if I have not given you, I'm giving my example. You can do it on your own. What is the best response I could have given if I just reflect later on after webinar is uh, completed, you know, and conducted, then I reflect, oh, I could have given this much better way to respond. Maybe next time, Akansha, we will do this. So what I'm trying to do, we all can name it in your negative situation. What is that one emotion? Sometimes people tell me, मुझे नहीं पता चल रहा मैम क्या है. I don't know. Please know. Try to reflect, try to pause, take a deep breath, try to know what is that emotion which is bothering you. कभी कभी इमोशन पे, भावनाओं पे, भाव की चादर लोगों के चढ़ जाते हैं एंड वो भावना की भाव जो होती है, इमोशन होती है, वो हम समझ नहीं पाते क्योंकि लोगों ने हमें उस पे चादर डाल दिया, परसेप्शन ऐसा बना दिया है कि वी आर नॉट सीइंग द राइट कलर. Please try to have your own understanding. Your conscious has that power to understand that. That is why I tell emotion is the next superpower. We need to understand that. And everybody has that. That's easy way to do it, anything in our life which we want to do it. Yeah. So I think this is very easy. Name it, pause it, reframe it. We all can do it. This is a very simple technique which can be used for being more emotionally agile. Yeah, next slide. So this is the difference which you all must be thinking how it is related and difference. EI is emotion intelligence. In one line, one definition, I can tell you, it is understanding one's emotion and managing one's emotion, understanding others' emotion and managing others' emotion. That is emotion intelligence. EQ is measurement of that intelligence is what kind of level you are, where you are in emotions. As you assess yourself in IQ. IQ is your cognitive assessment, the intelligence, you know. Same is EQ. It is emotion intelligence assessment. So this is EQ. When we talk of agile, this is your core values to use everything in that context to be effective, to manage, handle, and understand the situation very well to take action, and accordingly the outcome will be. So emotion agility is something which is your core values of at individual level. How do we use it? And understanding the situation and identifying it in properly and take action accordingly. This is emotion agility. And I'm sure now people understand how emotional agility is going to give power to EI and EQ. So if you are talking more of EI, please talk about EA also. It is a foundation. It completes each other. It is not separate from each other. It is interdependent. It has a relationship, and it complements each other if you use it in that manner and understanding, and you become more effective person. Whatever, I'm not saying you're not effective. We all are effective in our own way, but we want to learn some skills. We know that it is going to help us. So any question you have, otherwise we can close. This is how we need to understand EI, EQ, EA. That's why we are creating this network of global emotional agility network. We have many networks on emotional intelligence, but we need to go to the next level when we see the science of emotion, how our brain functions in that situation, and we need to understand more of brain science, neuroscience, integrative science to understand emotional agility. And the famous psychologist who made psychology famous, Sigmund Freud, we all know it. His famous quote I always try to share with people when I meet them offline or online is that unexpressed emotion will never die. So it is an energy. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. And we see this kind of behavior in all walks of life, whether it is on roads, road rages, within family, violence. So, and school, universities, everywhere you find this kind of glimpses of this unexpressed emotions coming in the uglier form. So please be, I think, alert on this and be aware, informed that if I'm suppressing something, it is not going to die forever. It is going to come in some situation in a more uglier form. So it is better, emotional agility teaches us, let us express that in a more effective, positive, and healthy manner. That's what we are wanting to convey through this GEAN network, and how it can help people in their individual level, in their family level, in their organizational level, society level, national level, and worldwide. This is a mission which we are carrying. So we have this tagline for a global emotional agility network, that innovate, rejuvenate, and elevate. If you do that, emotional agility will make your life very different. And then you can see how there's no mental health issue. All mental health issues start dissolving in a very effective manner, and you don't need medication or therapist, anybody. This is where some training, some skill, some knowledge, and the experience with people who are working in this kind of network will help you, guide you to manage your course of action in path of life, whether it is personal, professional. And in psychological fitness solution, we always work on mental health issue through integrated science and help people to live positive. And if we have this both, we can live positively, we can live healthily, and we can convey this to others also in community, that how life is so easy with emotions. Let's not become so difficult with emotion. That's the message which I would like to give. Emotion is our powerhouse. Let's use it for ourselves. Yeah, any question we have? And three takeaways. What are the takeaways which you have got from this session before we close? Akansha, we can see from participants so that we also get some feedback, live feedback.
Sure,
Please
ma'am.
write
Sure.
your three
See,
takeaways, at least one if you can write. Otherwise, I can reiterate from for you all, but I would like to hear from you. Or any question. We are giving time because already time is up.
the time is already up, ma'am. But yes, it
Any
was pleasure listening to you, ma'am. Got new perspective today. I'm just reading the comments, ma'am, right now. Thank you, ma'am, for the insightful session. I got to learn a lot. My takeaway is to not to shout in the class and work on overthinking.
Very good.
It's a wonderful session, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Takeaways. I'm interested in takeaways. Otherwise, I'll give you the takeaways in the end. Something coming out or no?
As of now, I think, as of now, no. We are already over time, ma'am. So can
Okay,
just.
I think we'll conclude. I think the takeaways would should be, and it would be from people that emotions are data; they are not directives. So if it is data, you have to work on that, because when we get data, we take action. So this is one takeaway which you should understand, that emotions are data, not directives. If you think directive, then you don't take any action. Yeah, I feel that way. Okay, fine. But it is a data, not directive. Second, pause creates power. Between the response and the trigger, there is a space for you. Use that space as a superpower. Between trigger and the response, or whatever your stimulus and response we say in psychology, there is a space in between. There's a power of choice, how to respond. And last, you can choose your response. That's what emotional agility is. Thank you. God bless you. Have a nice evening. Enjoy.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an insightful session and such an interactive session. As a psychology student, I myself is a psychologist, but again, I consider myself a student for long. I have learned a lot from the session. Yes, and thank you so much for your time. We are really glad to have you. And for the whole community, we'll be having the master sessions every alternative week. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.